A jelentkező minden feltételnek eleget tett, ezért felvettük. So the applicant ticked every box, satisfied every requirement, so we hired him. Let's see if I got it right. I need another. Let's listen.
A jelentkező minden feltételnek eleget tett, ezért felvettük.
So a jelentkező is an applicant. Jelen means present, and it can also mean something that appears at that moment. So like jelen idő is present tense. So this is somebody who appears for a job. Let's look up jelentkező, see the word parts of it. So jelentkezik means to apply for something from jelent plus kezik. Kezik is like a reflexive suffix. So kozik, kezik, kőzik, akozik, ekezik. Csodálkozik. See, they say it's reflexive suffix. Reflexive suffix. Having the object equal to the subject. So you're like doing it with yourself. I mean, what's interesting is that it has this ik ending, because some of the verbs that end in ik are considered ik verbs. Others aren't. So just because it ends in ik doesn't mean it is an ik verb. And they often behave like reflexive or middle voice verbs. Middle voice means the voice is neither active nor passive because the verb cannot be either an agent or a patient. It has elements of both. And here's examples. Active voice, Dennis broke the window. Passive voice, the window was broken by somebody. And middle voice, the window broke. Okay? Or like rolling when I rolled the ball was rolled, or the ball rolled. It's as if it's rolling by itself on its own volition. So that's called the middle voice. It has elements of it doing it to itself because there's no agent doing it to it. The point is that a lot of things with this middle voice or this you yourself doing something to yourself has this ik ending, and these verbs that have ik have strange conjugations. Let's go look at dolgozik. Which I believe is an ikish verb, so we should be able to see how they allow it to have what's usually considered a definite ending for the first person. So dolgozom. And another thing that's different is that usually the third person is just the bare form of it. And this third person has an ending on it, the ik ending. So any other word like ear, to write, the third person is the dictionary form. And all the other things, it has no end. It's considered having no ending, the bare form. But an ikish verb does have an ending in the third person, namely the ik. So here you see the only allowed ending for first person indefinite is the k, but if it was ikish, it would be allowed to have an m. Dolgozik is allowed to have an m. That actually is considered the proper form, but over the years, people just have ignored that proper form, so this is becoming more and more acceptable. You see how it says proscribed? That means it's not technically correct, so it's frowned against, but it's so common that what's the point of doing it the correct way? You'll most often hear it this way. So the word proscribed means frowned against, but we have to still So it's forbidden or prohibited. So technically, you're not allowed to have the K ending in the first person because the correct ending is the M. This is the right ending, and the K ending is not allowed, but because it's so common, that's the way I use it. It's too much to learn to realize which verbs are ickish verbs, which verbs aren't, and there are verbs that end in ick that aren't ickish verbs. I don't know if I can pseudo-ickish verbs. Do you think they'll here? Okay, so here's some examples of pseudo-ick verbs. Bomlik, buik. So when we look up buik, to hide, for example, buik. So this is a pseudo-ick verb because it's not an ick verb in any other respect. It cannot take the om ending in the first person singular. And the subjunctive and conditional first person forms cannot appear either. So here's some examples of pseudo-ickish verbs. Bomlik, foik. Let's look at foik. To flow. Jelenik. That has the word yellen. That means to be present, right? So jelenik. It's interesting. All of these are intransitive. Sunik, to stop. I'm trying to see if any of these are transitive. Maybe this is, nope, that's intransitive. Mulik, to pass time. Kopik, to get thin. Ilik, to fit something. Zulik, to decay. Valik. So that's a pseudo-ickish. So interesting. So none of these pseudo-ickish verbs can be used as definite, and you'll never see them with an M ending because they're just not allowed. And for that reason, because I don't know whether it's an ickish verb or not, I just use the K ending in the first person. So jelentkező, jelen means present. So let's keep looking at jelentkező. Jelentkező. So jelent means to appear, to signify something. So jelenik, to appear, and it's causative. And that comes from jelen as an adverb. So yell is a characteristic, a distinguishing mark, and turns it into an adverb. So let's make that word jelen. Jelen is present. So jelen idő is present tense. And yell is a mark or a characteristic. Jelent means to appear. Jelentkezik means to apply for something. And a jelentkező is an applicant. So the applicant, minden means every. Feltételnek. So here's where we can see tesz in two places. So he put to the satisfaction. So eleg means an enough. Eleg means enough. And eleget means enough, but as a accusative, as a noun. So enough stuff, enough satisfactory things. And it's accusative. Accusative. So the applicant, every requirement, eleget test, he satisfied every requirement, therefore we hired him. And here, here's the word fell, means up, so we took him up. And this is fell, means to put up, feltétel, so it's a tétel is a thing that has been done, a stipulation. Tétel, I think, actually is not a thing that needs to be done. Let's look up. Feltétel. A tétel is like a stipulation, I think. Yeah. Feltétel is a condition, term, stipulation. Tétel is something that's been put, the act of putting something. A theorem, a unit, a movement, like in a music composition. So here, a feltétel, something that has been put up, like a proposition, a condition, a caveat. But the tétel does eventually come from the word tesz as well. So this jelentkező, feltételnek, so every condition, and here it's in the dative. So they satisfied to the conditions. So he put satisfaction towards the conditions. I guess we could translate it like that if we wanted to be literal with why we use the word with the dative ending. Ezért means therefore. Felvettük, we took him up. We hired him. Felvesz means to hire. So let's go look. To pick up, lift, to answer, to accept, therefore we accepted him. To admit him into a place or a group, to take up. They have admitted me to the university. So does felvesz mean to hire? And the answer is yes, it can mean to hire. So at Seg we Mernöket fell, the company hired a new engineer. Okay, so so we looked at jelentkező and the kezik, jelentkezik to apply, and the kezik ending. Let's put that here because we spent a little bit of time on it, looking at whether it's an ikish verb or not. Kezik. And that is reflexive. It's just verb forming. Verb forming. Sometimes it's reflexive or habitual. Reflexive. Habitual. And jelentkezik means to apply. I'll look at it one more time. Jelentkezik, jelent. That T is a causative T. So jelen means present, and then T makes it into a verb by causing something to be present, and then kazik makes it into a habitual verb or something where it requires some sort of ongoing action. Kozik, kozik. Instantaneous suffix, frequentive suffix, reflexive suffix, all three of them all rolled together, and it does have this ik in it. So the jelentkezik, I believe, is an ikish verb. Jelentkezik. And we can tell if it has an om, yeah, the M ending, then it's a real ikish verb. Jelentkezik. So I'm going to put all three of them. Reflexive, instantative, and reflexive, reflexive, instantative, and what was the other one? Frequentive. Frequentive. And let's put the different endings because it's made up of 3 endings. So K is instant, Z is frequent, and ik is reflexive. So ik is reflexive, K is instantative. These are all verb endings. Jelentkező, and the Z is the frequentive. Let's put this at the end. Jelentkezik.